What's up, people? Oh, yeah. I am exhausted, per usual. Hope you guys are having a fun evening. Figured chat with you guys a little bit. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is Saturday night. Hey, what's up, Bert? Hope everybody's having funny fun, whatever you got going on. I figured we could talk a little bit. If you got any questions about the Kickstarter, what's up, Kevin? Feel free to ask. If you've got any concerns or you aren't sure how it works or anything like that. For those that don't know, we have my Kickstarter going on at the moment. It's about 3 days in. We started it Wednesday. It's doing great. It's about to cross the $5,000 stretch goal, which is always awesome. Like I said, we're only technically 2.5 days in since we launched. No, 3 days. We launched it Wednesday at noon, and it's doing really good, which I'm super damn happy to see. And like I mentioned, if you're not following the Kickstarter or supporting it, definitely make sure you are. There's a lot of great stuff on this Kickstarter for everybody. It's affordable across the board. Bert, you better go. You better be back in my Kickstarter, dude. I'm gonna start calling my real life friends out on this shit. Damn it. But yeah, make sure you guys are paying attention to that. Um, the Digipack. Oh, the digital copies. They go out. I mean, they'll go out once the Kickstarter is shipped. So once the Kickstarter is over with, we send the excuse me. Once the Kickstarter is over with, we send that file, to the printer, and then we wait our turn in the queue to be printed. Then once the printing is done, they'll ship those books out to me, and then I'll throw them in all the mailers, put together all the packages, and send them out to you guys. And the digital copies will go out at that time, I believe, because we don't want anything being spoiled for anyone. So the digital copies don't go out until after all the physical copies have been mailed. We don't want anybody ruining anything for anyone. To be honest with you, Bert, I really don't know. But you don't really need a collector's edition. You can just go get the books off the Kickstarter, brother. Because I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. There's 10 issues on this first storyline of Psycho Sal. At some point, I'm sure I'm not gonna say sure. At some point, I might, and I hope to do a trade dress that has all 10 issues in it. But that would be way down the line if I did it, if I do it at all. And if I do it, it'll actually be more expensive than if you bought the books off the Kickstarter, because we want people supporting the Kickstarter, not supporting the trade dress, but the other reason for that is I've got another book that I have to put in production. So around, you know, the 1st of January, around January, I should be putting, you know, the first book for Cycle of the Blood Moon into Kickstarter. You know, I'm hoping to do that around January, February. So I'll be concentrating on that book while finishing the last, you know, 4 issues of Psycho Sal. So, I mean, I would love to do a collected edition trade dress kind of thing, you know, but I don't know if or when I would have time to do it. Like I said, I've got my hands packed with Psycho Sal as it is, and we still got 4 issues to do after this, or excuse me, 5 issues to do after this issue number 5 that's active right now. And you guys also keep in mind the covers, the guest artist covers that are on the Kickstarter will not be available outside the Kickstarter. So if you don't buy them on the Kickstarter, there will not be a chance for you to get them later. So like, you know, like case in point, you know, Ryan Kincaid's the featured artist on the Kickstarter. So here's his Virgin cover, and there's a trade dress cover that has the logo and everything on it also. So like this cover right here will not be available outside the Kickstarter. You know, I won't be, you can't reorder it from me later or anything like that. It won't be on a future Kickstarter. So guys, don't miss out, because I can't stress it enough. The Kickstarter is too affordable for you to be skipping. You get what I'm saying? When you can buy, you know, my cover on the Kickstarter for $20, or you can buy one of the other covers for, you know, $8 or $10, and you can get the Ryan's Kincaid's covers for a respectable price. There's no point in skipping them, you know, because like I said, I would love to do a trade dress. I just don't know when I would have time to do it, because obviously it would have to be a Kickstarter scenario too. And I've got Psycho the Blood Moon to do. And I still have 5 more issues of Psycho Sal. And even though we're going to Kickstarter about every 2 months for Psycho Sal, I mean, we still have 5 issues to go. So even at 2 months in between, that's still what, another 10 months before we're done with the book. And then I've also got to try to figure out a way to squeeze Psycho the Blood Moon in. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't know when the hell I would get to a trade dress collector, you know, collector's edition or collection or however you want to word it. But you know, but definitely you guys make sure you go support the Kickstarter. The link is on the header. You know, this Kickstarter has 3 firsts on it. You know, it's got the first nude cover on it, which it also has the first cosplay cover with Ivy Cosplay, who did her 2 covers that came out incredible with her cosplaying Sarah Dinks, Special Agent Sarah Dinks. We got Sean Forney's cover. We have Amy Good's cover. We have Anna Zul's cover. We have Ken Hunt's cover. And then we have Ruth Lucas' cover, which this is also a first because it's the first ever published cover that I myself colored. So don't be too harsh on me on it. But yeah, yeah, that's exactly true too. So like all the metals, the glow in the dark foils, the other type of cover types that are on the Kickstarter, they won't be available outside the Kickstarter either. So, you know, like I said, guys, go check the Kickstarter out. And for those that's never done Kickstarter, the way it works is you pick what tier you want, and then it'll take you over to the add-on page. And that's where you can add on. All right, have a good night, man. That's where you can add on all the other covers and stuff that you might want. And then you put in your, you know, your payment information and everything. And now they don't charge you right then. They charge you at the end of the Kickstarter. So, I mean, you got time to save up, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50, whatever it is you're trying to do. You got enough time to save that up. The Kickstarter, you know, runs for 30 days. Once the Kickstarter ends, that's when they collect the payments from everyone. So you got plenty of damn time to save the money. But yeah, make sure you definitely go check it out. You know, because you know, we need more backers on it. Like the book's already fully funded. It fully funded in the first hour it went live. So the book is going to print. I mean, obviously, just like the other 4 issues did. So you don't have to worry about that. And the book is 98% done. Like, I think McLean's just doing a little bit of lettering, and then he's done. So, we do things a little different over here. I make sure the book is pretty much almost 100% completed before I ever turn the Kickstarter on. That way, as soon as the Kickstarter is over, I can send that file straight to print, and we'll have to wait our turn in the queue. That could be a week, or that could be 2 weeks, just depending on where we are in the queue. But by doing that, we get the book printed faster, and then we get it shipped out to you guys, as long as we don't have any hiccups about anything. But thank you, Courtney. I appreciate it. But yeah, you want to make sure you pay close attention to that. Look over the Kickstarter real careful. Figure out what tier you want. Look at the add-ons real clear also, and see what add-ons you want to do. If this is your first time, seeing Psycho Sal, you can get all 4 back issues on the Kickstarter too. So you can back, whatever cover you want for issue number 5. And then on the add-on section, you can add on the previous 4 issues. They'll all be my covers for the previous 4 issues, but you can add them on. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's definitely awesome. But, and, again, for anyone new, Psycho Sal is, this is a whole different approach to how we usually do comics. First off, it is a smaller niche market. Horror tends to be smaller niche market, a little harder to do. And that's why I wanted to do it first. I wanted to do something that's a bit more challenging, because any Joe Blow can do superheroes, and that shit's easy as hell to write and to develop, and a bigger market to sell to. Anybody can do TNA books. That's an easy market to sell to. But when you start getting into horror, that one's tricky, because horror has to be written a certain way, it has to be drawn a certain way, and it has to be colored a certain way. What's up, Michelle? So it's a bit more unique with horror for sure. But like I mentioned, it's about a serial killer set in the 1980s in New Orleans. This serial killer is different than anything that's ever existed. He doesn't have a profile. Normally with serial killers, they fit into a certain profile. They hunt a certain way, or a certain type of people, or a certain area, things like that. And there's no profile for that with Psycho Sal. And I know some of you guys have heard me talk about this before, so bear with me. I'm just kind of saying this for any new people that might be tuning in. We wanted to approach this in what I feel is a more terrifying way, because, even if you look at real life serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Ramirez, et cetera, with them hunting a certain way, certain people didn't fear for their life for the most part. If you got a serial killer and all he's killing is women, then men are safe. If he's killing nothing but men, then women are safe. If you got a serial killer that's chasing, blondes, then all the brunettes are safe. You get what I'm saying? So we wanted to change that up a little bit and make it a much broader palette of fear. And by taking away the profiling, making it to where he's just, an act of nature, pure chaos walking, I think it makes for a much, much more frightening type of killer. Because again, that means no one is safe. And, when you read the first book of Psycho Sal, it's got, you've already been exposed to it's 4 or 5 murders on the first book, and it's 2 males, 2 females. Every single one of the murders were committed in a different way. If it hadn't been for him leaving his calling cards, so to speak, at each one of the murders, they wouldn't even known it was a serial killer. They would have just thought it was random murders. Yeah, for sure, man. Let us know what you think too. Like I said, by taking away that profile, taking away that box that, normally serial killers would fit into, it has created a much more terrifying type of scenario where no one is safe. And then of course, the way we approach the writing on Psycho Sal You know, I wanted to be something unique. I wanted to be something different, and I wanted it to be something that pulled readers in tighter than you just reading something through the hero's perspective or some shit like that. So, you know, it's 10 issues on the first go on this storyline. And the first 3 books are written from the perspective of the lead FBI agent, Victor Gray's, perspective. And when we get to issues 4, 5, and 6, we change that perspective. And now you're seeing and experiencing everything through the eyes of one of the victims. And for the most part, that's never really been done in comics. Then when you get to 7 through 10, we change that perspective again. And now you're experiencing everything through Psycho Sal. What's going on in his head, how he views the world, you know, what's pushed him to do this, you know, all those types of things. It'll slowly unravel so you can see all this. And, you know, and Psycho Sal isn't it's not just a slasher type of comic. Some of the things that happen in the book, you don't see. It happens off screen. You either see the right before it happens or right in the aftermath of it. So we did that also. We kind of threw back to the classic horror storytelling, from things from the older movies and stuff like that, and to where it's just more about building tension and suspense and keeping that going all the way through. There's no like levity moments in the book. There's no wisecracker cutting jokes. There's no dick and fart jokes or none of that bullshit that you see in a lot of especially a lot of 80s horror and into the 90s. You see a lot of that kind of, you always have that one guy that's constantly cracking jokes and shit like that. And I don't really care for that. I think it pulls a person out of the moment. And I get the storytelling of they're trying to create these emotional roller coaster kind of thing. What's up, Danny? What's up, James? I just don't like it for horror movies. If it's meant to be a pure horror movie or a pure thriller horror movie. Now, if it's meant to be, Cabin in the Woods, or if it's meant to be Freddy, you kind of need those joking moments and the one-liners and shit like that, because that's more of a comedy horror. But there's a good bit of horror out there that's meant to be serious horror that will throw in, some guy making crack jokes and shit like that. And I just think, for me personally, it kind of pulls you out of it. We want a story that starts, kind of heavy, and it just slowly turns that heat up, all the way through all 10 issues to where you're sitting on the edge of your seat and you're like just waiting for the next damn page to see what happens. And so far, that's been the response and the experience we've gotten from people, is them, talking about that they were on the edge of their seat from the first page to the last page of each book. And that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see happen. It is definitely way overused. Like, it's okay sprinkled here or there, but they tend to overuse it. And I don't know whether that's because they want it to be a funny movie with just spots of scary stuff, instead of it being a scary movie with spots of humor. They definitely kind of flip that, because you go back to 70s and especially there wasn't much humor in a lot of the horror movies, and especially if you look at novels and stuff like that from like the 70s and the 80s. There might be little jokes here or there, but usually when that happens, it's prior to the action. It's prior to the villain being introduced, and it's maybe just camaraderie between friends or family members, and you're getting a couple laughs right there before all the shit hits the fan. Now, I don't mind that, but like I said, we couldn't really do that with Psycho Sal, because when you open page 1 of issue number 1, you see Victor Gray, Special Agent Victor Gray, standing at a headstone in a cemetery, talking to it. So you're starting off very heavy for the most part, and then you go immediately into one of the bodies being found. So it's a heavy read, and it's meant to keep you engaged and on the edge of your seat. And I think with the perspective changes, that's going to also allow readers to get a bit emotionally involved, especially issues 4, 5, and 6. Once they've met TL and they've kind of seen how, who she is as a person and things like that, you're going to be attached to her. Yeah, that's what it originally was for. You had those light moments, but for me personally, the light moments I liked wasn't dick and fart jokes or none of that bullshit. It was fake scares. It was those moments where you thought something's about to happen and then boom, something happens, but it wasn't the killer. It was a friend that creeped up on them or a friend that came around a door and scared the shit out of you and them in the audience. And everybody got a giggle when they realized, oh, it's not the bad guy. Like that's the way it used to be done. But now it's gotten too far into just trying to be funny. And like I said, I don't know why, other than maybe they're just trying to reach a broader audience, because I mean, there's just not a lot of hardcore, like scary movies. I mean, like I said, because of there being too much levity and a lot of it, but also because people are making a lot of watered down shit, whether it be comics or movies. And we wanted something that was adult. We wanted something that was emotionally driven, and we wanted something that would legitimately keep readers on the edge of their seat until they got done reading the book. And that's what I think we've accomplished, because I mean, that's the kind of feedback we've gotten. Oh man, I started reading, man. Once I started, I couldn't stop. Like that's what we want to cause to happen. And that's all because of the wonderful writing with Chris Hayes and Lori Calcaterra, taking my notes and everything and converting them into actual scripts. They've done wonderful on getting my meaning across and my point across. So, but it's definitely meant to be, you're not there for jokes, Man, where is everybody tonight? It is Saturday night. Where is everybody? Well, I wish people shared damn people that are live. I wish they'd share people's shit for people that are still alive as much as they do for people that for actors and shit that died. And I'm not trying to downplay someone passing away, but I mean, Jesus Christ, you don't know these people, and y'all spamming the hell out of damn Facebook with it. How about y'all spam the people that are still alive? Oh, there's a World Series game going? Ah, okay. See, I don't keep up with none of that shit. And I was kind of wondering where everybody was on a damn Saturday night. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure there's some people doing Halloween parties tonight, too. Yeah, that's a good point. Lots and lots of Halloween. Yeah, I'm home. I guess they're going to do Halloween trick-or-treating on Halloween night, I'm sure. That's what I would think. She's stealing your pens. Yeah, the sad thing is I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about there being any damn Halloween parties last night or tonight, because Halloween being in the middle of the damn week or whenever it is, Monday, Tuesday, whenever it is, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, man. I would have looked around and see what places were doing some parties tonight and maybe dressed up and actually went. But I've been not working, but just drawing most of the day. I did finish The Fall of the House of Usher, and holy hell, that is a great show. That my intention last night after I got done working yesterday, my intention was to sit down and watch like the first episode, maybe the second. I watched 6, and I think they're hour-long episodes. I watched 6 damn episodes last night, and then got up this morning and, or excuse me, not got up this morning and started, but this afternoon I went back in there and finished the last however many episodes it was. I binge watched that whole damn show last night. Like I mean, I didn't finish till late last night. I mean, I had to stop because I couldn't keep my eyes open. But I binge watched 6 damn episodes last night. Yep. That is Bela Lugosi Dracula, the deluxe edition. Like the tree and all that stuff lights up and everything. Yep. I'm a big fan of where's it at? Oh, it's on this arm. See, I'm a big fan of the old classics. So, yep, that is Bela Lugosi Dracula. Yeah, I forgot about the ball game going. I don't watch sports no more. I can't deal with the bullshit. I can't do it. I just can't do it, man. Too much damn cry me a river shit. Referee this, referee that, and it's me, my team, and look what we did, And I'm like, bitch, I don't remember seeing you on the field. I'm just gonna say that. I can't. And then grown ass men arguing and fighting in damn bars and shit, or in their homes with other people, over something that they don't have zero damn part in. I can't do it anymore. I used to do it. What's up, Heather? I played a bit of football in school and stuff like that. What's up, John? And I can't do it anymore. I can't take it serious. I just can't. I can't, because it's all manipulated, scripted shit any damn way. I mean, let's just be honest. It really is. It's scripted. For the most part, it's scripted bullshit. Hey, let's do a giveaway real quick. DOT, Department of Truth, number 13, lucky 13. There's the cover idea, retailer exclusive for Image Comics. So let's do a giveaway real quick. Oh yeah, like I can't do any of it. I can't. The parents on the sidelines screaming and shit, and kids over a damn ball game, that doesn't matter. I hate to break that to anybody. It's nothing wrong with being a fan, but that football bullshit is irrelevant and doesn't matter. Sorry, and that's coming from someone who played football. At the end of the day, it's irrelevant, it's bullshit, and it doesn't matter. And yelling and screaming at your children about it is ridiculous. Hang on, let me grab my little pen thing over here. It's absolutely damn ridiculous. Yeah, I won't go to any of those games or nothing. I can't. It's just ridiculous. Screaming at kids. Now on the flip side, I can't stand beauty pageants either. I think if you're putting your children in beauty pageants before they're, 18 years old, I don't know what to think about it. Because I think that shit ought to be I think it's pathetic. Sorry, it is. All right, let's do a giveaway. Department of Truth number 13. For those that may be new here, what happens is I'll tell you to pick a number between a certain parameter of numbers. Pick one number only. Even if you see 20 other damn people pick the same number, don't pick another number. If you were to match with someone, we'll do kind of a sudden death. Now, double check my numbers when they go up, because I'm exhausted and apparently I can't count today. So, but yeah, I think it's all ridiculous. Like, I love sports for kids because I like the idea of what it teaches them and on the essence level of it. Building a team, being team players, exercising, supporting one another, being there for one another. Like, I love all of what the core teaches. I just can't stand the way parents act with it. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely. But like I said, it's the same way. That's why I don't go to bars and watch football games anymore. I can't stand the cry me a river shit about the ref this and ref that. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I agree. I'm a big believer on first place, second place, third place, and nothing else. I'm a big believer in kids playing sports, and I'm a big believer in kids, doing gym and things like that. And hell, I'm a big believer even kids doing home ec and shop. But as far as the parents on the sidelines shouldn't be able to do shit but cheer. That's the only thing that should be able to come out of their mouth on the sidelines is yay. That's it. That is it. That's exactly what it is. I mean, that's what beauty pageants are about. That's what, these parents that take sports way too damn serious. That's what it's about. They're living through what they couldn't do when they were that age. I mean, that's the psychology of it, whether anybody wants to admit to it or not. That's the psychology. That's why they get so wound up in it, because, if their kid ain't winning, they ain't winning. Stupidest shit I ever seen. I wonder how many people I'm going to piss off with that comment. Let's pick a number. We only got like 8 people in here because everybody else is watching shit that don't matter, like sports. Well, I'm going to piss all kind of people off. Could you imagine here's a good one for you. Could you imagine if people supported their friends and families' businesses as much as they do sporting events? Oh, did I just get too real? Did I get too real? Did I go too much? Did I go too much? I think I went too much. Yeah, exactly, Heather. Yeah, could you imagine that shit? If people shared and supported their friends and families, small businesses as much as they do these damn sporting events, or Starbucks or any of this other bullshit. I'm just saying. At least we'll remember your name. Let's see. Well, if some do, then it doesn't apply to some. I mean, fuck. If they do, they do. Then what I'm saying doesn't apply to them, does it? But see, most don't. Let's just be honest. Most don't. Because my anything I say on my show, it's one of those scenarios. If what I'm saying doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. But there's a lot of people out there that they want you to share their shit and they want you to buy their shit. But then when it's time for you to ask them, they vanish. Dude, and you ain't lying. And like $5 or something for a small, and then it's like $8 or $9 for that one. And I know some people, and that's why I'm kind of harsh about that. I know some personal, family or friends who make trips to Starbucks every single day on their way to work, popping $8 a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month. That's a lot of money for some damn coffee. But then when you share out your Kickstarter, you share out, your cover drop. Oh man, I wish I could, man. I'd love to support you. I just don't have the money right now. Oh, well, maybe skip Starbucks today. I don't know. All right. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Pick a number. Yeah, there's a local coffee shop here. Like, I don't really drink coffee. Every once in a while, I'll go sit at the coffee shop and work. And I don't want to just walk in and sit in their damn facility, without buying something, even though you're allowed to. I don't like doing that. So if it's, one of those days where, like when I go to the Barnes and Nobles, like every once in a while, I might grab one from that little coffee shop in there. But there is a mom and pop coffee shop, and I'll go there sometimes first. But if they're, because there are other people that go there and they don't have tons of seating. So if I go in there and they're full of, their seats are full, I won't stay. But if I go in and there's somewhere I can sit down, I'll buy something from them and drink. But you're talking like, once a week, that kind of scenario. I can't even fathom how people do it. And I'm not, again, it's your money. You spend it however the hell you want. I'll never, ever tell anybody how to spend their money. But, if you're going to sit back and tell me how you can't do this and you can't do that, but yet you're constantly going to Starbucks, you're not doing it because you can't. You're not doing it because you don't want to. And I'd rather you just go, it's not my thing, man. I'd rather spend my money somewhere else. And I can go, cool, But let's pick a number. I tell you what, let's see, make sure you can't see what I'm writing. Okay. All right. Pick a number between 1 and 25. 1 and 25. And whoever gets closest wins the signed copy of Department Truth number 13, the cover I did for them. But yeah, between 1 to 25. Let me write. See, I'm so damn tired, I can barely remember what I told you. I got the hiccups now. 1 to 20. What's up, Miss Terry? But yeah, make sure you guys go back to Kickstarter. If you have not backed my Kickstarter yet, please go do so. If you haven't shared it yet, please go share it. Help us get the word out on it. We've got, I don't know, around 50 or so backers right now. I want to see us get closer to what we normally do, which is usually around 100 backers. So, Terry, only pick one number, sweetie. Remember, guys, only pick one number. Even if somebody picks the same number as you, don't worry about it. We'll do a sudden death for matching numbers. So just pick one number. So, Miss Terry, I'm going to go with the first number you picked, which was 22. So just a heads up. Yep. Yeah, Miss Terry just came in, I believe. I didn't see her name pop up prior. But so the way I do my giveaways is when I tell you to pick a number, you just pick whatever number you want. If somebody were to match your number, don't worry about that. If I pull that number, we'll just do a sudden death roll for just those people that pick the same number. So, okay, is that it? We got 19. We got 19, 22, 1, 17. Damn, Kevin went 1. 17, 23, 13, 22, and 9. Like I said, I'm going to go with Miss Terry's first number pick. Okay, so I guess that's about it. All right, so lucky number 7. So who got closest to 7? 9, I believe. Am I overlooking anyone? I think it's Cameron with number 9. Yeah, that's the lowest number, right? 9? Yep. Okay. All right, there you go, Miss Cameron. And hang around, folks, because I've got a couple more that I'm going to give away. And all you got to do is just hang out. How many damn artists do you know to do that shit? There you go, Mr. Cam. Yeah, I got a couple more I'm going to give away here. We got Red Sonja, Virgin, that I did the cover for. We got another Ice Cream Man for Image Comics. And we got Vampirella number 18, my first ever published cover with a company, Dynamite Comics, retailer exclusive. So, yeah, so we're going to do that too. But like I said, feel free. I'm just going to hang out with you guys for a little bit because I didn't want to, because I was feeling that itch to sit down and start working again. So I'm trying to stop myself from doing that on Saturdays. I'm going to start trying to force myself to kind of be off on Saturdays and Sundays, except for when I have like hard deadlines on something. I'm working on 2 cover gigs, and both of those are the deadlines out a little bit. So, very nice, Courtney. Yeah, that was a good cover. I like that cover. Funny story about that cover, or at least I think it was kind of funny. When I first drew that cover and I sent it over, I believe the guy's name was John from no, that was John. I think John was from Image. Never mind. What was that guy's? I can't remember his name. But anyway, it was one of the editor guys, from Dynamite Comics. So I sent it over to him, and he was looking at the pencil work, and he's looking at it, and he sends me his edits back. Say, hey, can you adjust this? And the really only edit he had, like he loved the image and the pose and everything. And the only like thing he asked me to tweak was he was like, could you thin her hips down a little bit? Because to be fair, Lady Death is a bit thinner, and I drew her, I drew her with some thighs. I gave her that southern thigh. You know what I'm saying? And it was a little thicker than that. And, he asked me to tone it down a little, thin it down a little. And so I thinned it down and sent it back. He's like, okay, can you do it just a little bit more? And of course now when I was sending them back, I'm doing minimal movements on the narrowing of the hips. And then I sent it to him like the second time, and he's like, okay, that works. But I thought that was kind of funny that they were wanting her thighs thinned down a little bit. They were a little too thick for them. That's right. Thick thighs saves lives. You know, and you know, and kudos to him. I wish I could remember exactly what his name was, but kudos to him because for the most part, he let me do Vampirella in, you know, my style of what I wanted her to look like, you know, and I tried to give her more of this, you know, just kind of playful, sexy kind of look and pose, you know, and I think it came off great. Yeah, exactly, Heather. So you know, kudos for him. Um, you know, for the most part, I've got to knock on wood. And guys, feel free to ask any questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble about random things. There's no telling what I might talk about. I mean, hell, we were talking about sports and pageants a few minutes ago. So feel free to ask any questions you might want to know, whether it's comic related, whether it's industry related, whether it's movie related, TV show related, art related, Psycho Sal related, Kickstarter related. Ask any damn thing you want, because I know most artists don't do these like type of, you know, Q&A kind of chats. You know, I get that. You know, they're drawing or they're talking about go buy this, go buy that, you know, kind of video. They're not really kind of just answering questions. So feel free to ask anything you want. Otherwise, I'll just ramble about all kinds of shit. Like I said, because if I don't, I'm going to end up, you know, sitting down and doing work. So I figured, and I don't really get to go live very often on Saturday nights because I'm usually at cons, you know, but I was home this weekend, so I figured I would chat with you guys. Yeah. Just let me know. I'll be happy to come on. I'm happy to go on any show. I wish more podcast people would talk to indie creators, you know, because right now indie is huge right now. Psycho Sal is one of the top selling indie books that is in a legit comic. That it's not a comic that's just TNA or one sex pose after another inside the damn book with shit story. Like it's, you know, it's one of the top selling legit comics, right there along with like Don't Pay the Ferryman and shit like that. So, you know, I'll be happy to go on any show and talk about the indie part of it, because I think more people need to start paying attention to indie. Because I got a news flash for you guys. All these TV show platforms, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, you know, so on and so on. They are shopping indie markets. So you never know when, and especially horror right now, horror is hot as hell right now. You never know when that indie book you skipped out on, you know, could be like, option for TV movie treatment, man. You never know. So pay attention to indie. I'm telling you. So I can give you a little bit about that. Yeah, indie's where it's at. Like indie has some of the best damn stories, for sure, in my opinion. Oh, awesome, Heather. What the hell is cryptids? What the hell is that? If you come in here talking about some Bitcoin shit, I swear to God, I'm gonna go off on you. Because that's what cryptid makes me think of. It makes me think of a form of Bitcoin. And I'm telling you guys right now, if anybody comes in here with some damn Bitcoin, I have never heard Bigfoot called a cryptid. That sounds like Bitcoin shit. Holy shit. I don't ever remember hearing that called cryptids. Interesting. Okay. Which, to be fair, out of all the mythical creatures, I don't really give a shit about Bigfoot or, you know, the Loch Ness Monster. Like, you know, I'm more into the other shit. But yeah, that sounds like now the Mothman story. Now that's a good one. I like the Mothman story. I've never really given a shit really about the Bigfoot stuff, or the Loch Ness Monster, you know, or Yeti. Now the Wendigo is a really interesting mythology. If you ever read any of the books on the Wendigo or Mothman, those are some really good ones. See, I did a high school thesis paper on lycanthropy with werewolves, and I don't think I've ever heard of anybody call it cryptobiology. Holy shit. Yeah. Yep, Dogman. The Jersey Devil's a pretty interesting one too. Yeah, that's usually what most people chase is Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, or Harley. It definitely doesn't ring a bell. But then again, I've probably forgotten more shit than most people know. And I don't mean that as an ego thing. I just mean it's hard for me to remember shit anymore. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that one. And I'm not saying I like it's not unlikely I've ever heard it. It's just some reason it just doesn't sound familiar. I thought he was about to start talking about Bitcoin shit. Like I legit thought he was going to start talking about some damn Bitcoin. All right, so Psycho the Blood Moon, for those that don't know. And here's one of the characters from the book. Psycho the Blood Moon. Oh, hang on. I dropped it. So that's one of the characters from Psycho the Blood Moon. And this is another one of the characters from the book that I'm working on when I get chances to. This one's a long ways from finished, but you get the point. Yeah, crypto was dumb as shit. That's money laundering bullshit. Same thing with NFTs. All right, so Cycle of the Blood Moon. That's a series that I'm working on that I'm hoping to put in Kickstarter around January, February. Now this one's a whole different ball game compared to Psycho Sal. This one is probably, I mean, really and truly, it's probably a concept story that should be a novel, but I'm going to try to put it into comic book. And it's going to be like 20 damn issues if I'm lucky, if not more. So Psycho the Blood Moon takes place. The first part of the story takes place in the early 1800s, Europe, and it's about a clan of werewolves. And well, let me phrase that the correct way. It's about a clan of lichens. Now, in this story, this universe, lichens are full blood, born that way. They can change anytime they want to. They have full control of their faculties and everything while they're in lichen form. And they're protectors. They're guardians. And now there are werewolves in the story, but werewolves, of course, are humans that were turned by pure blood lichens. Now the werewolves, who they're larger than humans, but they're much smaller than the lichens. They are 100% affected by the full moon. That's the only time they can change, and when they change, they are pure, feral animals. That's where you get your campfire stories, your mythology and legends from. Is those people, losing control and killing humans. So what is happening in the story is about 200 years prior to where you're introduced in the story, there was a lichen who was sick of living in the shadows, tired of bowing down to humans, so to speak, and stuff like that. And he made a deal with a pack of witches to become, almost God level, with doing these blood rituals. And so he became extremely powerful. And of course, he had some lichens that were siding with him. And this whole war broke out. And they almost wiped out most of the population in Europe. And they were pretty much spreading like a cancer almost. So they were, the lichen clan, White Mall, that's the main clan for the lichens, or one of the families, so there's different houses of clans through Europe and the world that all kind of answer to this family, with them being the oldest of the clans. And they finally got him stopped. So they were able to kill him. It was a huge ass war. It decimated a ton of their numbers, from that war. And now they've discovered, as you come into the book, it's 200 years since that happened, and they've discovered that there's another group of witches now that are trying to complete these blood rituals to resurrect that, that lichen, that blood god, so to speak. And they're trying to stop that. So when they find out this is happening, they discover that where it's taking place is New Orleans in the early 1800s. So they cross, the ocean to come to New Orleans to try to stop these witches. And it's a legit New Orleans witch that's in the story, Lady Delphine. She was a legitimate, like, slave owner, witch, hateful ass person in the early 1800s. And so she's the one, her and her coven are trying to create this, trying to finish this blood ritual to resurrect that blood god. So they come here, they're setting up shop, they're trying to catch her, they're trying to stop her. And so that's what that story revolves around. But this one, again, what makes this one more, a little bit more broad with the audience is you're going to get to see everything, for the most part, that goes bump in the night. This book has, lichens, it has werewolves, it has vampires, it has witches, it has angels and demons. So you're going to get to, you're going to get to experience a lot of things. Like, you're even going to see a flashback on like that lady that I was drawing there. Like I said, this one's a long way from being finished. Like, Lucius is one of the werewolves in the clan, and then like this lady, this angel, Angelique, that character there, she is. So the angels aren't allowed to interfere, right? Okay, so they're not allowed to interfere. They operate off of God's law and what He says they can or can't do. But the angels, they only influence, so sometimes they're sent down to whisper certain things into certain, humans' ears to help them, become great individuals, like, trying to spread love and things like that. And so, but they can't interfere directly. Unless it has to do with old school testament and stuff, but we're not getting into any of that. That's way before, this. But they're not allowed to interfere with what's happening. They're just allowed to, influence a little. And the same goes for the demon side of it. Like, they can't come down. They're not supposed to physically interfere. All they can do is just whisper. To try to help influence people to behave certain ways, etc. So, but like with Angelique, though, and she's one of those, what they're called whisperers. And Lockwood clans, who knows? Maybe we'll put that as a tier on a Kickstarter, and you can have your name added as a werewolf clan, or the last name of a werewolf, something like that. So she, they're called whisperers, and she's someone. Angelique is someone who she loves mankind. Yes, she understands the tragedy they can cause and the damage they can cause, but she loves humanity. She loves what they can be. She knows what potential they could be. So she's very protective of them, and as you experience her, because there'll be these moments in the book where, again, I'm doing perspective changes. So there'll be these moments where you're viewing things through one of the main characters for the White Mall, clan, and then there'll be moments where you're in, what seems to be like heaven, and you're experiencing, these things through Angelique's viewpoint and stuff like that. And then there'll be moments where you're sitting with a, house of vampires talking about what's happening, or moments where you're sitting with actual demons talking about what's happening. Because if they barely won the last time, if these witches succeed in resurrecting him this time, humankind will be almost completely wiped out. There'll be nothing but slaves and cattle. That's what they'll become, because the clans just themselves, they don't have the numbers to stop it. Like I said, when they stopped him the last time, even vampires came into the fight to help stop that thing, because it would, even though they're doing it for selfish reason, because humans are technically their food. They know that humanity can't be wiped out because they'll die, or if the numbers get dwindled so badly that they'll dwindle. But even with those numbers, what was left of the vampire clans, and then of course you've had both of these houses who've been hunted over the years by humans, werewolf hunters, vampire hunters, et cetera, et cetera. So not only did the big war decimate their population, so as humans over over all this time, until they could finally kind of convince humans that they're just myth and legends and movie characters. You know what I mean? So you'll get to experience all those different houses and their different viewpoints on how they are intertwined with this war. And and like I said, with Angelique, one of the cool things is, you'll see her having these moments where these heartfelt moments where she's talking to like Gabriel, and she's talking to Michael, and Michael's, he's like, God's, God's sword. And, he's like, God told us to stay out of it. We have, he's trying to talk to her like that. And, and of course she's trying to convince him, well, it's been 1,000 years since the last time we've heard anything from him. Like, he's vanished. Like, you know what I mean? So like, they haven't heard any, rules or orders or anything for over 1,000 years. Yes, Archangel Michael, that's right. So you'll see that, and you'll see how that breaks her heart and everything, and how, because there's moments where she'll come to Earth in a human form and just walk with humanity and everything, again, because of the love she has for humanity. And you'll see all those kind of moments. Like, you'll even get to see a flashback story where Michael and Lucifer were fighting. So there'll be something like that that'll be in part of the book too, because it's talking about the war between heaven and how angels turned on angels and things like that. So you'll see all that kind of story mixed into it. So this one's going to be, this is a more grander level of book. Like I said, it's probably something that should be more like a novel, but I'm not a writer, so I'm gonna try to put it in comic book form the best I can with the writers I got access to. But this one's gonna have, now this one will have, how we were talking about how Psycho Sal doesn't really have levity moments or funny moments. It's a very serious read. It's terrible what's happening. There'll be some levity in this one. I mean, you've got two vampires that are brothers that are constantly bickering, like they're 10 years old, constantly trying to one up each other, talk smack at one another. And it'll all be humorous because, again, it's like two brothers arguing and fighting. And then, there's this one werewolf, or, well, let me rephrase that, lichen, because again, there's a difference between werewolves and lichens. There's one lichen that's part of one of the clans. He's an absolute horn dog. Like that dude could be in the middle of a fight with somebody, and if there's somebody pretty standing over there seeing the fight happen, like, he'll stop in the middle of the fight and be like, "What's up?" Like, he's just a straight up horn dog. But you'll also meet some of these characters that very serious, honor, respect, those things are the only thing that matter to them. Family, protecting humanity and stuff like that, even though they've been shunned and they've been hunted and they've had nightmare stories created about them. Because for the most part, lichens don't really mess with humans. because of them being in control of their faculties, they can choose to feed other ways and things like that. This isn't a scenario of, like they have to live off human flesh or anything like that, like you've seen with some werewolf lichen movies. It's kind of one of those things that, the humans taste better, So that's why, some of the lichens sided with that lichen that was tired of hiding in the shadows and wanted to use humans as cattle. And it's more like, it's kind of like, for me, the concept of chickens taste good. Chicken tastes good, but steak tastes way to hell better. Hamburgers taste good, but barbecue tastes a hell of a lot better. It's so it's that kind of thing. Now vampires, now the vampires a little different. So the vampires in this universe do feed off humans, but they don't need to kill them. They can feed, and they don't need tons of blood to sustain themselves. So they can grab somebody and feed off them and leave them be, and the person just kind of be weak and they can kind of erase their memory a little bit with the experience. So yeah, that's right. Cajun tastes good. So the vampire, but you do have, again, you have these things. This is where the campfire stories, and this is where the mythology and the legends came from. Because with the werewolves, while the lichens are totally in control, don't need to feed off humans if they don't want to, the werewolves have no control. Like I said, they're half-bloods. They've been turned by lichens, whether an accidental bite or something like that, or on purpose in some cases. But the werewolves, the humans who turn into the werewolves, again, have zero control. So and they're completely held by the moon. So as long as the moon cycle is going, once it starts, like, it doesn't even have to be full, like a full moon. Once that half moon starts into the full moon and then past it, they're completely controlled by that moon, and they have zero control over their desires and everything. So that's where you get the stories from, the humans being attacked by werewolves and stuff like that. And so that's where that comes from, and hence what generated werewolf hunters and things like that. And then like I said, the vampires are similar. They do feed off humans, so sometimes they do get caught. Someone caught them doing it, or seen, or whatever. Or and the one that can be a bit dangerous, where you end up having a victim, is new vampires. So because vampires, even though there are some purebloods that are born that way, there are just regular vampires that are changed through the blood transaction and stuff like that, transference. And so when they're new bloods, that's when they don't have a whole lot of control. So if they start feeding on someone and they get into that feeding frenzy, they could take someone's life, and therefore generate bodies that could pop up. So you do have that kind of thing going on, but for the most part, they kind of stay to themselves and stuff like that. They feed when they need to, and it's not one of those things where they have to feed every day, or, so it's just those little accidents, so to speak, that happen that create the mythology and the ghost stories. But the influence by angels, you'll definitely see that in the book, where they whisper to certain people, or a lot of times where you see it happen is because there'll also be these people called watchers. So there's humans who, whether they were born this way, or whether it was some kind of tragedy that put them on the brink of death, that kind of opened their eyes up to the veil, so to speak, they can see certain things. So like, let's say one of them, was at an accident, a car accident, where someone got hit by a car, crossing the street or something, and they're dying in the street. they will actually be able to see collectors. Now, collectors are, like we have whisper angels who kind of whisper influence to humanity. We have what's called collectors. And collectors are angels who come down to take souls that are going to heaven. So that when you have a person, when you have watchers, the watchers, if they run across that, they will actually see the angel kneeling, next to this person, and the angel's aware that the watchers can see them. They don't talk to them, they don't engage with them, but they are aware that they see them. And so watchers see things like that. There are certain watchers also that, like I said, the ones that have experienced death but came back, so that veil between life and death for them has been crossed. They can actually see, certain people if they're close to their time to go. So there, it's one of those things, like it's kind of, I don't think it would be a fun thing to know, when you see someone and you see that glow, that essence on them, that their time is short. Like I don't think that would be a fun thing to know. So a lot of times the watchers, and that's why nobody pays them any attention, is because a lot of times the watchers, either they don't understand what they're seeing, so they don't tell anyone, or they've seen so much of it that now they're kind of lost their faculties, so they're a bit more rattled, and so to kind of be like that guy on the street corner, screaming the end is near, that kind of person, you know what I mean? But yeah, this one is, this one will be a much broader story with a lot of moving parts. Like I said, 20 issues. I'm hoping I can do it in 20 issues. It may be more than that. But this is a long haul type of storytelling with this one. It'll be one of those things that it'll have highs and lows. It'll have some comedy. It'll have some tragedy. I think it's going to be a great read, though. I really do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You're welcome, all. Going to be awesome. Wait, what? What are we welcome to? What'd I miss? Yeah, it's I honestly don't know if I can tell it in 20 books. I really don't. I mean, it's taken me 10 books just to tell this first story arc of Psycho Sal. Oh, you asked. Oh, okay. I was like, what did I miss? So, yeah. So it'll be a fun read. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, it's going to have a little bit of everything. We're going to be dealing with some mythology. We're going to be dealing with some old school campfire story creatures. We're going to be dealing with some really, really intriguing and interesting characters, especially Angelique. That one, I think Angelique's probably going to be the character most of you end up falling in love with, because of whom she is. I think I really do. I think Angelique is probably going to be one of the main ones you guys fall in love with. The other one I think you guys are going to have a blast with is, there's this one Lycan. She's like 16 years old, but she's like been training since she was like 6 or some shit. She's a badass. Did any of you watch Game of Thrones? You remember that? What was that little young girl who ran that one house after her, her dad or whoever died, but that little brunette? Oh my God, what was her name? She was a young little girl, but she ran that house like she's that kind of, she's that kind of person. She's very, very sarcastic, almost smart ass level. Nobody's raising her, you know what I mean? Like, not in the sense like she doesn't know how to act. She's just like, she's very mature, even though she's like 16 years old, 15, 16, something like that. I mean, that's that, and again, that's why that's why I'm telling the story the way I'm telling it, with the changing of perspectives. A lot of books just don't do that. Comic books, especially, like you see it in novels a lot. Different perspectives telling the stories, creating one giant story. But yeah, that's the way. The same reason we did it with Psycho Sal. I wanted to write these, or create these things and have them written and told to where they feel like something that could be a TV show or could be a movie. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, that's what they're shopping is in the indie market. And again, werewolf stuff's always been popular. Vampire stuff, mythology and legends has always been popular material. A lot of people can relate to multiple aspects of that type of material. And then horror in general is hot right now. And while this one has maybe elements of horror in it, it's not horror. It's more fantasy, I guess, based concepts. Like I said, because we're dealing with werewolves and lycans, we're dealing with vampires, we're dealing with angels and demons. We're dealing with witches. So it's more of that kind of fantasy, kind of storytelling. If I had to compare it to something as far as like maybe a bit like the first Underworld, in the sense of it's these fights and these battles and everything's waged, kind of behind the scenes as much as possible. Like they were even like, the first war that happened, they were able to bury that under the Black Plague. So because there were so many people in Europe dying from the Black Plague, they were able to kind of convince the populace that all these bodies that were showing up from this war were results of the Black Plague spreading. So they were able to hide that. I don't know. I want it to be, I want it to have action in it, but I want it to be a very character-driven thing, because Psycho Sal is very character-driven. Like once you guys read that, or if you haven't yet, Psycho Sal is very, very character-driven. It's meant to get you invested in the characters, not an action scene. You know what I mean? So I want the same thing to take place with this one. Like you're going to see action scenes. You're going to see, fights between lycans and other lycans, and or werewolves and vampires and things like that. You're going to see, you're going to be exposed to the battle in heaven where, Michael and Lucifer was fighting and all the other angels. You're going to see that happen. You're going to see, these interactions with the witches and stuff like that. So, I really, really, really think that people are going to dig the hell out of it, or at least I hope so, because this one's going to be a lot of time invested in this one. Okay. Oh, it does? Oh, okay. I thought you were just referring to your name. Like I started watching originals, and I think I watched the first season or something, and I couldn't really get past it. And it wasn't because I wasn't necessarily interested. I was just so busy with everything else. I just never went back and finished it. But yeah, I think I definitely think it's going to be. Let's do another giveaway real quick while we're pausing. Let's do one for the Vampirella. All right. So let's pick. If you won the last one, don't do this one, but you can do the next one. Okay. Let someone else have a chance to win this one, and then if you won the previous one, then you can come in on the next one. Yeah, I probably told too much. But I'm excited about it. It's kind of hard for me not to talk about it. Which, trust me, even though I touched on a lot of stuff, I've not touched on anything. That's why I don't know if I can tell it in 20 books. Like, it really and truly, it ought to be a novel, because there's so much going in it I mean, there's no doubt about it. It'll have to be a novel at some point. I'll have to sit down with a novelist and turn it into a novel, because I think that's where it will shine the most. But you know, all right, let's do this one. Pick a number. Pick a number. Oh, pick a number. Pick a number between 1 and 50. Let's do a big one. Pick a number between 1 and 50. Thank you, man. I'm glad you guys like it, man. I'm glad you guys are, interested in it. Like I said, werewolves, vampires, all that old school stuff's my bread. That's what I grew up with. So I'm just beyond stupid excited. I cannot wait. I want to start on it right now so bad, but I'm trying to get as much of Psycho Sal done as I can. And guys, do me a favor, Terry, everybody, if you haven't backed Psycho Sal, and if somebody could put the link for me in the comments here, if you haven't backed Psycho Sal #5 yet, please go over there and back it. I put a lot of money in this Kickstarter. It's all, the book's like almost 100% done. Like, we're missing just a little bit of lettering, and hell, that may be finished by now, knowing McLean. So the book's ready to go to print. But please, guys, make sure you go back to Kickstarter. Every little bit helps. There's something on there for everybody's income level, so it's affordable for everyone. And here, I'll show you guys the covers again real quick. Now, a lot of these are just the Virgin covers, but some of them have the trade dress on it. But trade dress is available on everything. There's my cover, the naughty version of it, Ryan Kincaid's cover, the first ever cosplay cover on the book, Ivy Cosplay playing Sarah Dinks, Sean Forney's cover, Amy Good's cover, Anna Zuhl's cover, Ken Hunt's cover, and Ruth Lucas's cover, which is also the first ever published cover that I colored. I've never colored a cover. This is the first time I ever did it, so be gentle. I try my best on it. But that's my first ever colored published work for a cover as far as digital is concerned. But yeah, there's a lot of great covers. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. A lot of great covers on this one. Make sure you guys go back to Kickstarter, please. I've got about $5,000 invested in this book, and that's not counting what it's going to cost to print it. Just creating the book, I've spent almost $5,000 on this book. So help me out. Let's recoup that money. So guys, please go back it. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I tried my best on it. It's not, I don't think it's too bad for my first time. That's only the second time I've ever tried to color something. So I think it's pretty good. What's up, George? Why what? What are we whining? What are we whining about? Yeah, and guys, I can't stress this enough. Remember, they don't take the money for the Kickstarter till the end of the month, or the end of the Kickstarter. So whatever you're wanting to back, go back it now. You've got 27 more days to save up the money to pay for your backing. The reason I say that is there's stuff that's on that Kickstarter that there's only one of. So when you look at the tiers, look at the add-ons, especially the add-ons. There's stuff on there that's 1 of 4, 1 of 1, 1 of 5, like 5 things created, 4 things created, 1 thing created. Told you to pick a number. All right, so let's look here and see what numbers we got. We got 22, 36, 39, 39, 32, 23, and 50. Okay, the number I picked was 20. All right, so who got closest to 20? I see James at 22. Texas. You mean the Texoma in Oklahoma in February? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you might as well call it a Texas Con, because most of the people there is Texas is that's going to be at that con. If you're talking about Texoma, yeah, I'll be there. Yep. All right, so I think it was James at 22. All right, there you go, James. Congrats, congrats. But yeah. Make sure you guys go back to Kickstarter like as soon as possible. Like I said, they don't take the money from you today. They don't take it till at the end of the Kickstarter in like 28 days. So just don't miss out, because even some of the stuff that's on the Kickstarter as tiers are limited. So don't screw around and the shit sell out. Okay. But yeah, go show some love on it. Like I said, there's something on there for everyone, affordability wise. So that should not be a problem. And I promise you, whether you're buying a $10 book or whether you're buying a $200 item, it's just as important to the Kickstarter. So please don't think just because you may only be buying a $10 book or something like that, that means the world also. Yeah, so I believe Brian got me into Brian does he handles a lot of my booking now for shows, and I think he got me an invite to I'd have to look at my notes, but I think it was Fan Expo Vancouver. What the hell was it? I think I put it on my bookings. Let me look real quick. Hang on one second. I know it's on the saved thing. I've got my 2024 convention stuff. Yeah, Fan Expo. Damn, I got it. I don't know if I'll be able to go because I got to go Monday morning and see if I can get a damn passport. But yeah, he got me a table invite for Fan Expo Vancouver, February 17th through the 19th. But I got to go first thing Monday morning and see if I can even get a damn passport. I don't, because I've had people tell me before it takes like 3 months or 6 months or some shit to get a passport. So I don't know. I hope like hell not, because I definitely want to do a Canada show. I've got a good bit of fans that are in Canada. I don't know what part of Canada, but if my ass can come to Vancouver, y'all can drive your ass over to that con. Yeah, that'll be my first time out of the country too, if I get to go. Yep, that'll be my first time out of the country, which is pretty damn cool. Like I said, I hope like hell I get to go. And of course, it'll also be on expenses. Even though they might be sponsoring me a table, what's it going to cost for me to fly there? Or, because isn't Vancouver's on the east side, right? Isn't Vancouver on the east side of the U.S., across the Canada border, above Seattle or some shit? Or is Vancouver over here on the like, which side? Like, I haven't looked yet. Like, when you look at the U.S. map and Canada's up here, which end is Canada on? I mean, which end is Vancouver on? No, Louisiana's like just my backyard. So Louisiana's just like my backyard. So I would have to fly that. There's no way I can drive from here to Vancouver. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't want to, especially since I got shows the weekend before and the weekend after. So yeah, I would have to fly. Yeah, I would have to fly. I kind of want to think it's over there above like Seattle somewhere. I could be wrong, but I think it's on that side of the U.S. You know what I mean. So I'm pretty sure I would have to fly it, which I don't have a problem with flying. It's just I got to figure out what that would cost. What the hell would it cost to fly? And I mean, I'm sure I could fly direct from like Memphis into Vancouver. I'm sure I could. But yeah, that's a lot of moving parts there too. I got to go find a passport, make sure I can get a passport with no issues in the time frame I need it in, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to have a passport which that's a visa. So I'm pretty sure I have to have a passport. At one time, I don't think you had to, but I think you do now. I'm pretty confident you do. But so I got to do that and hope like hell I can get it back before time. Yep, North Seattle. Okay. Thank you. I was pretty sure that's where it was. And then I got to figure out what it would cost to fly, Ooh. Yeah. That one's going to be interesting. And then I got to pray like hell, people show up. Like I've never done that show in Canada, so I have no clue whether it's a good show, a bad show, a mediocre show. I have no clue about nothing. Obviously I've never been to it, so I don't know. And that's always risky. If you've been in the business 20 damn years and people know your name, through the community, even though a lot of people do know my name, knock on wood, with the amount of covers I've done, it's kind of hard people not to know for the most part. But there's still shit tons of people that have no clue who I am. And they've seen the books, obviously they've seen the books, but they probably don't know who I am. And that's always risky when you're doing any type of show that is going to be expensive for you to do. I got you. So I got to go Monday morning and find out, if I can get a damn passport within that time frame. Because I definitely want to go. Like I said, I know it's not going to be cheap. I'll probably try to find an Airbnb up there to stay in. That'll help save me some money versus a hotel, connected to the Comic-Con. But still flying from, Memphis or whatever to Vancouver, I imagine that's not going to be cheap. So we'll see. Okay. Yeah, I'll check. I don't know why I would need a visa though. I should only need a passport. I think visas has to do with, temporary stays and stuff like that. Like I'm not going there to stay for 6 months, and you have to have a work visa. But yeah, I'll definitely ask to make sure. Like I'm not 100% sure of that, but I kind of want to think of visas a different thing. That has something to do. That has to do with you going somewhere trying to work, if I remember correctly. I think all you have to have is a passport just to travel somewhere and come back. Okay, cool. I've got that, so that shouldn't be an issue. I've got a photo ID and I've got my birth certificate. I think it's in that box up there. Got you. Okay. All right, I'll definitely check that too then, because my understanding was all I needed was a visa. But I'm also only there for like 4 days. You know what I mean? James, I think there's like, and I'm wearing the new t-shirts, by the way. It says Psychopath on the front, and then on the back it says Psycho Sal Tour 1986. I think I have like 2-3X's left, and that's it. Yeah, I think I have 2-3X shirts left, and that's it. I think I have an extra large, but I think I was saving it for Miss Terry, because Miss Terry, you had mentioned on one of the posts that if I had one, you wanted it, or you had asked if you had grabbed one previously, and I double checked and you hadn't grabbed one. So I think I was sitting on an extra large in case Miss Terry wanted it. But I think I have, yeah, I think I have two. Yeah, let me double check. Yeah, it looks like I've got two. Let me make sure they're 3Xs. That's a 3X. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yep. So I've got 2 3Xs. So, okay. All right. Well, Miss Terry, check your PMs. I think I may have. Let me see if I did, because these will go in the mail on Monday. If you guys are squared. Yeah, I think I sent you a voicemail. Here you go, Miss Terry. I'll send you this. The price on these are $30 shipped, and just send the payment to my PayPal that I'm sending you right now. Just send the $30 payment to my PayPal. Use friends and family, no notes, since I'm selling them, for regular prices. And I think, James, you should have my Gmail account, and Courtney, you've got my Gmail account for Latimer12 at Gmail. Just send the $30 payment to those, and I'll put a sticker on these right now that you guys have claimed them. And then, like I said, Miss Terry, if you want it, I've got that extra large. Yeah, it says Psychopath across the front, and then the back says Psycho Sal Tour 1986. Also, if we can luck up and push the Psycho Sal Kickstarter to damn 20 grand, every single backer on that Kickstarter, physical backer, gets a damn Psycho Sal t-shirt. And it's the other t-shirt, the one that says Psycho Sal across the front. And it doesn't have anything on the back, but it just says Psycho Sal across the front. We just got to get the damn thing to 20,000. Which isn't difficult. We just got to get more backers' eyes on it. I can only share it so much on Facebook before I get labeled as spam. So that's why it's so important for you guys to not only back the Kickstarter, but share the Kickstarter out also. So be sure to do that for us. Yeah. That was one of my daughters gave me that for Father's Day or my birthday one day. All right, there you go. I got those done. Yeah, that email I just sent you, Miss Terry, just send the $30 payment to that. Also, if any of you haven't grabbed it, make sure you grab the Psycho Sal exclusive for #1 for EDS. That post is on my page. They are almost sold out of those books. And if you haven't sent over your payment to them, to Peter, make sure you check your PMs from Peter. Because they're the ones collecting the money for that Psycho Sal exclusive. That's their first exclusive ever. And they did a Psycho Sal #1 exclusive with new cover art. It's an homage to the Trick or Treat movie poster. So please make sure. Awesome. Thank you, Miss Terry. I appreciate it. I mean, I knew you'd get to it eventually. I think you've backed every single one. But the reason I'm kind of like trying to encourage people to go do it now instead of later is because of all the stuff that's limited on the Kickstarter. So I don't want people missing out on stuff because the cosplay tier is on there too. We just did that on the last Kickstarter. We didn't do it on previous, and there's only like 3 or 4 of those on there. And that particular item is badass. So make sure you guys check that out. The Psycho Sal cosplay, you get his mask, you get his hoodie, you get his weapon, you get all the cover A's minus Ryan Kincaid's. You get a bunch of other goodies in that damn box. It's a box full of stuff. All right, Miss Terry, I've got your name on this extra. Let me make sure it is extra large. Yeah, extra large. Just let me know whenever you send the payment, and I'll get this stuff in the mail to you. But yeah, it's I'm super excited, man. There's so much goodness on it. Oh, that's right. You in California. It's ridiculous what it costs. California is ridiculous. I can ship stuff anywhere in this damn country, or excuse me, anywhere in the States here. And it'll, when I'm sending one book, it usually costs me, it's in a Gemini mailer. And then, and that one book, pretty much anywhere around there is like $7 for the shipping and like, 50 cents for the Gemini. I can ship that same damn book that was like $7 to California, and it's $13 right out the gate. It's insane. All right, thank you, Miss Harry. It's absolutely insane. It's straight up bullshit. And Canada is holy hell. One damn comic in a Gemini mailer to Canada was, what did I send the other day? I sent that person 3 books. I think it was 3 books, 3 comics in a Gemini mailer to Canada. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was like right at $40 in ship, or it's a little over $40 in shipping. That's some bullshit. That is straight up bullshit. Hang on one second. Yeah, like I've got tons of fans in Canada. You know, luckily a lot of those people, they've got like a US shipping address, so they'll go down there, you know, cross the border and pick up their mail like once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. But I'm like, God damn, dude. It's ridiculous, man. Like, I can ship stuff to England and the Netherlands and Australia, etc., cheaper than I can ship it to Canada. Like, I'm like, what? Like, it makes 0 sense to me, man. I can't wrap my head around that bullshit. Oh yeah. And that's another thing too. I know a lot of you guys are out of the country. If you ever back Psycho Sal, just put a US address on there. Just make sure you send me a message and let me know that you're out of the country, because the Kickstarter is going to charge you whatever the shipping is for whatever US address you put in, that we have down $10 for, you know, or whatever it is. But if you're outside the country, you know, Kickstarter won't let you back a Kickstarter if you're outside the country with an, you know, a non-US address. So if you don't have one, just put an address on the Kickstarter. Just make sure to let me know that you are not at that address, that you're out of the country, and then I'll adjust the shipping separately for you, and that way you can get the Kickstarter stuff. So just a heads up on that. Yeah, dude, I don't know how you guys, I mean, I get that some of you are just kind of stuck there, but I don't know how the hell y'all can deal with that California shit. I'd be getting some kind of damn online Amazon job or something and moving something. And I know that's easier said than done, of course, but yeah, it's insane. But yeah. Like I said, make sure you guys go look at the Kickstarter. Please make sure you share it out. Like I said, I can only share it so much, or I get. Oh, and whoever mentioned the Harley Quinn statue earlier, I just realized that you had mentioned that, and I didn't say nothing. Yep, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a great statue. Now, if I can just find a 1/1 Joker statue, I'll be set. Yeah, I love some damn statues, man. I done got a little carried away with the shit. Let me see if I can grab this thing. Will it give me enough string to? So yeah, I got a few. So I got a few. And then there's more in the living room. Oh, hang on a second. Let me put it back. So yeah. That's why I don't ever tell people what they should or shouldn't do with their money, because we all have our habits, you know. But I'll be honest with people. When people are like, "Hey, can you loan me this, or can you back this, or can you buy this from me?" I'll be like, "Dude, I ain't got no extra money to buy shit from you. I buy too many statues." Like, so I'll be straight blunt with them, you know. Now I do back Kickstarters, you know, from people that I know, when I can remember to do it. I've got like a whole stack of I got a box down there full of Kickstarter books that I'll never read, you know, but I backed them because it was this person or this person's project. Every once in a while, I forget to back one on someone I know, but I try my best not to. But yeah, I'll just be straight honest with people, and they'll be like, "Hey, do you want to go do this? Or you want to go do that? Or do you want to buy this thing I'm selling?" Or I'm like, "Dude, I buy sideshow shit. I don't got no money. I don't got no extra money. I fund my own comic book, and I buy sideshow shit. I don't have extra spending money." So, oh yeah, Gates Cave. God, man, they got a bunch of really good statues. They got a bunch of them. That reminds me, I'm glad you guys brought that up, because I just remembered I sent Brandon a message the other day. Let me send that to Darren too. Because I just realized I sent that message to Darren. When did I send that message? Thursday, and he saw it Thursday, but he never replied back. He was probably just busy. But I need to see. There's a Harley Quinn that laughs statue coming out, and I gotta have it. Because let me see if I can show you. I don't know if this will reach. Hang on a second. Hang on. Oh damn, it's like down there. Can you see it back there? See that bat who laughs statue? I need the Harley that laughs statue that's coming out. So I sent him a post. I saw Sideshow finally posted it, and I want to see what it's going to cost. Luckily, knock on wood, they've helped me out with these things. They kind of let me get, they've been gracious enough to let me get these things on wholesale, but that's still not cheap. Yeah, I need to. I'll message him tomorrow because it's almost 10:30. I'll just message Darren and see if I can get an answer, because I really want that damn statue to go with my Bat Who Laughs statue, because it's a gorgeous damn statue. It's not cheap though. Oh, that one's gonna hurt my pocketbook. There you go. 5 more years. All right, let's do one more giveaway, and then I think I'm gonna call it a night. Let's do Ice Cream Man number 25, covered by moi. All right, let me write my number. Let's see, no, I don't want to do that number. Let's do. All right, I got my number. Okay. This will be the last giveaway, and then I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much, though, for hanging out with me, letting me talk Psycho Sal, letting me talk Cycle of the Blood Moon. I hope you guys are excited as excited about those as I am. I'm super, super, super ready to get that book out there, but it's going to be a minute. Like I said, if you haven't supported the Kickstarter yet, please go back to Kickstarter. I would love to get to the normal 100 backer range, so I can feel nice and comfortable. We're about halfway there. So please make sure you go back to Kickstarter, and definitely make sure you share it out. Like I said, we can't share but so much, or we get hit with spam. So please make sure you go do it. Yeah. Glad you guys came to hang out, man. Like I said, I appreciate it. Otherwise, I'd be in there trying to, work. I'm trying to not do that 24/7. But yeah, thank you guys again. And for those that have back to Kickstarter, you guys are badass. Thank you so much. For those that haven't, please go back. And I promise you, you will not regret it. It's a great storyline. And you are not going to be disappointed on that. Oh, no, that's no problem. I think it is. I offhand, I can't remember. I think it's the one that's got, one of her hyenas or something with her, I think. At least I hope so. That would make more sense, for sure. But let's pick a number. I tell you what, let's pick a number between, let's do a big one. Pick a number between 1 and 100. And like I said, if you won the last giveaway, skip this one for me. You know, give everybody else a chance to win. But yeah, number between 1 and 100. 1 and 100. But yeah, please go back to Kickstarter. Like I said, I've got right at $5,000 in this book already. I need to make sure I recoup that so we can do the next issue. Because that's all I do is I just move the money into the next book. And remember, guys, that's the only thing I'm asking. Oh, damn, I almost showed that. Sorry. That's the only thing I'm asking about these giveaways. Make sure you please go share this video. If I look at your page and you won one of these items and you didn't share this video tonight, you forfeit your win. Okay? So please make sure you guys share the video. Okay? That's the only thing I ask. All right, so we got 72, 67, 69, 81, and 62. All right. Okay, my number I picked, boom, 68. So the closest one, that one is Kevin and Cameron because they both are the same distance from 68. Let's see, I guess, make sure, let me double check again. We got 68, 67, 69, 81, 62. So Cameron and Jeff are the closest. I mean, Jesus. Cameron and Kevin are the closest to 68. So let's see. Pick Cameron, you and Kevin, pick a number between like 1 and 25. 1 and 25. Cameron and Kevin Wolf, 1 to 25. Oh, my neck. All right, Kevin at 18. 18. Cameron at number 13. All right, the number 11. So that would be Cameron. So congrats to Cameron. All right, there we go. Okay, all right, guys. I am going to get my butt off here. Again, thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me and letting me just kind of ramble on about things. Appreciate you guys listening to me talk about Psycho Sal and talk about Psycho the Blood Moon. Like I said, we've got a lot of cool stuff planned for you guys. Just stay tuned. Again, please make sure you share this video. Make sure you guys go share the Kickstarter. The link is in the comments somewhere. You can copy that if you want to. I think it's on the header of this post. You can copy it there if you want to, or you can go to my page and share out one of the posts where I had posted about it. But guys, please make sure you go share the Kickstarter. Make sure you go back it. Again, it is affordable for everyone. There's something on there for all types of income levels. Okay. But anyway. Oh, awesome. Well, have fun, guys. If you're doing trick-or-treaty stuff tonight or Halloween party stuff, I hope you have a great time. Be safe. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to whom is walking around you. Pay attention. Okay? I think it's we're at that point where y'all need to start watching every damn door, every damn person that walks up. You just start being paranoid. Not in the sense that it makes you stay at home. Just start being more mindful of what's going on around you. Who's walking through doors? Who's carrying what in their hands? Pay attention, okay? But yeah, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you again, and I will talk to you guys later.